Welcome to an introduction to OneDrive. Today we'll be focusing on the following content for this webinar. Why OneDrive, personal versus corporate, the user interface, OneDrive in Windows Explorer, OneDrive Online and OneDrive on mobile. So first of all, why OneDrive? OneDrive is included as part of your Microsoft 365 subscription. It automatically stores and has your files backed up onto the cloud. It saves space on your device and you can access these files on demand wherever you have an internet connection. You are able to share documents with your colleagues and you can collaborate these in real time. This makes it quicker and easier than attaching it to an email and handling multiple versions. You can synchronize and access documents on your computer or mobile device so you can work on them offline. You also have 5 terabytes of personal document storage in the cloud. You then have access to all SharePoint storage using the same interface, and you have the ability to back up your desktop documents and pictures automatically. Next we go on to personal versus corporate. So OneDrive in a single sentence. OneDrive is a unified piece of software that can connect you to your personal documents as well as SharePoint documents through one native interface. When we talk about personal documents, we don't typically mean family photos and family meal plans. We are talking about personal documents that you are currently working on that you need to ensure are backed up safely but aren't ready for your company as a whole to view yet. A typical example of this is a report that you may be working on for a client. It needs to be saved and backed up but isn't ready for the rest of the team to view yet. However, you might want to invite a colleague to collaborate on this document. This can all be done through OneDrive. We can also seamlessly back up your desktop document and pictures folder on your device to your personal OneDrive. Your personal OneDrive is not accessible by your colleagues unless you specifically share documents or files with them. We'll touch on that a bit later, however we would advise against storing sensitive home or family personal data in OneDrive Personal. Corporate OneDrive. Think of OneDrive Corporate, also known as OneDrive for Business, as your window to your SharePoint documents. Utilizing OneDrive technology, we can now present the SharePoint drive to you. A bit like the map drive you currently use, but with added capability of offline access. Yep, you hear me right, this means you can access corporate data whilst offline. We know this is especially useful for those of you that travel and work on client sites. No more copying files to your desktop and dragging them back to SharePoint when you finish working on them. OneDrive at Home. Some of you may already be familiar with OneDrive at Home. This looks very familiar with OneDrive Personal, but you'll notice no reference to the company name anywhere. We currently advise against adding your OneDrive Home account to your company device. So what's the difference between personal versus corporate and how can you tell them apart? So with OneDrive Personal, you are able to see the OneDrive logo, which is that blue cloud that you can see there, and it also says OneDrive next to it. This means it also has the company name on it as well. With OneDrive Home, you can also see the blue clouds with the OneDrive wording, but it does not mention the company name. With OneDrive Corporate, this has a blue building icon and it will not mention OneDrive in the name, but does mention the company name. User interface. There are 3 ways of accessing OneDrive. The first option is online via your web browser, whether that be Google Chrome, Explorer, Firefox or Safari. The next part of this webinar is going to be a video on how to connect to OneDrive through your web browser. You can also download OneDrive from your smartphone, whether that be through the App Store or Google Play. You can also use Explorer to download OneDrive, whether you've got Windows 10 or Apple. So on your desktop, you want to go down to your chosen web browser. We're using Microsoft Edge for this example. Then in your search bar, you want to go into login.microsoftonline.com, which will take you to your Microsoft account. Then you're going to want to log in. So we're going to use another account in this example. Your email address, phone number goes in there. And then you just need to pop your password in. It will ask you if you want to stay signed in.
We suggest if it's your corporate laptop to stay signed in, but if you're on a shared or public device, then click no.
And then it will take you straight to your Microsoft Office page, and then the bar on the left you can see where Word, Excel Outlook, PowerPoint and everything is. Where the blue cloud is, that's obviously your OneDrive. So if we click on that now, it will take you straight to your files. There we go, so you can see your desktop, your documents and your pictures are all saved in there. What do the different icons mean? OneDrive utilizes 5 key icons when browsed using Explorer. It's a good idea to become familiar with these as you have full control as to whether files are stored only in the cloud or onto your device. And if you have an issue with a file, you can often see its error state and you may need to call for support. On the left there you can see an example of files and their status icons. So what does each status mean? The blue cloud at the top represents that the file only resides in the cloud. Your first green tick there means that the file resides in the cloud and then temporarily onto your PC as well. The second green tick you can see there represents that the file resides in the cloud and also permanently onto your PC. The blue arrows that you can see underneath that means that the file is syncing, and the red X below means that there's a file sync error and you should contact your IT provider as soon as possible. OneDrive Files on Demand. With OneDrive Files on Demand, you can set files and folders always to be available locally on your device or save space by making files online only. In the taskbar, select OneDrive icon, select More, then onto Settings. After this, you need to go into the Settings tab and select Save Space and download files as you use them. This video is going to show you how to sign in to OneDrive via the app that you can download onto your desktop. So you can see there at the bottom where it says OneDrive not signed in. You're going to click on that, sign in, and then enter your email address. It's just the same as we did before on the internet. Just click sign in, and then here it's going to take us into our folder. So it's just telling you that the folder is there and you can add files to the folder from other devices and have them on that PC still. The next screen we're about to see is going to show you how to back up your existing documents, your desktop and your picture folders, and upload them onto OneDrive to ensure that they are backed up online should something happen to your device. So it's then just going to go through how to share files and folders, how to have, we went through that earlier, so the different icons, and then obviously you can download the mobile app as we spoke about before. And then you just open my OneDrive folder and it will bring you to your documents. So obviously you can see the top one and the bottom one are synced and the middle one there is in the process of syncing still. If you want to go to OneDrive on the side there, you can see you can go into desktop, documents and pictures, and all of your data will be backed up into there. OneDrive Online. The following graphic illustrates the online OneDrive business UI. You can see the navigation, tools and documents library. How to access OneDrive Online. We have gone through this already, but on the right hand side there you can see a multi-factor authentication. You can set this up quite easily. You can either get an authentication app on your mobile device, or you can use just your mobile number to do this as well. Once logged into Microsoft 365, click the OneDrive icon on your home page, as we previously went through. The common use cases for OneDrive are to be creating and uploading files or folders, sharing files, copying links, and saving and opening files in Office apps. I will share a couple of videos on sharing and saving files onto OneDrive. This demonstration is going to show you how to save documents and files into your OneDrive. So obviously this is just a normal Word document that we're using as a test. Go into Save As. You'll be able to see OneDrive is on your left banner there. Type in the name you want to save it as and what file you want it in. So going into Documents and then click on Save. After this, you'll have autosave on, so it will constantly, every time you type anything or add anything into your document, it will automatically save. As you can see there, it says saving. So any updates made will automatically go on there. And now you can see it says saved at the top there. So if we exit now, we can go into our files, go into our documents, and there we can find test. And remember that green tick means that it is saved onto your cloud and temporarily onto your PC. Is going to show you how to share your document. So we're going to right click the document we used on the last demonstration and go down to share where you can see the blue OneDrive cloud. We're going to go into the settings and send a link. So we're going to click on this with the different options. The first option there is anyone who has the link, so anyone you send the link to will be able to access this. You can set an expiration date on editing, so if you want to allow the other person to edit and collaborate with you, you can set an expiration date and a password. The other options you've got there are people in your company with the link, people with existing access, or specific people. So those are your different options on sharing, depending on who you send the link to is who can open and edit the document. And then you just want to click on apply and then enter the name or email address of the people or person that you would like to share your link to. There we go. So we're just going to send it to that one there, and you can add a message so that they can see it as well, so they know what they're being sent. And then from there you just want to press send, and it's as easy as that. It's sent straight away. So the link has now been sent to that email address, and you can see there that there's another person working on that document with you. The recent view function is used as a quicker way to continue with your files that you were just working on. Recent view allows you to see the files you've been recently viewing or editing and lets you filter or sort based on last modified, sharing, or activity by anyone you are working with internally or externally. The file card and an inside look on files. The file card in OneDrive and SharePoint provides a wealth of information at a glance. You can keep track of activity around a file and whether it has been viewed recently. You can also get deeper information like key points from documents and the average time to read. This information can help you make quick decisions about which content to read and how to best prioritize your day. OneDrive for mobile. The OneDrive app is available on iOS and Android devices. Total IT will send you the correct download links for these after this presentation. You'll need to log in to these with your Microsoft 365 credentials, and you may be asked to set a PIN for OneDrive when you log in. This is an added security mechanism just to protect your data. So how do you get started? Follow the cheat sheet instructions sent out following this webinar, or email training@totalit.uk with the subject line "Help me set up my OneDrive." We can book you in for a personal 15-minute setup and walkthrough. This would also be a perfect time to go through in person anything you don't quite understand from this webinar. Please allow us some time to book this in, as we may be exceptionally busy with these.